You about to be mad.
There's no sound effects.
Nah, even worse than that. That whole thing was just muted.
So nobody heard.
Woo! We haven't had technical difficulties in the cool like 6 months. I think we were due
So
for
we've
it.
been on for like 10 minutes and no one's heard anything.
No, we were on for 4 minutes and 50 seconds and nobody heard any of it.
So what was I doing Avant? So we were an Avant song and no one heard it.
I'm gonna you know what.
I don't know who came out with the song 4 minutes, but I just attribute it to Avant. I'm probably wrong.
I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, man, once again, third intro this show. This is Touchdowns and Tangents, live from the Good News radio station. Shout out to the X Squad affiliate. Shout out to FBC Radio. I'm PD Camarillo.
I'm Kenneth Frank James Barry. Hi, Mom.
And this is Touchdowns and Tangents, your weekly spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and context for the culture.
Culturally concise content.
Did I leave anything out?
Yeah, we podcast like a journalist.
I hate that one. But we got a bunch of NFL free agency content coming up for you in case you didn't know, because this is the third time of me saying it. And even though you probably didn't hear it the first two, I'm already annoyed of saying it.
With his monotone voice.
That struck a chord.
Yeah, don't swear. So technically, I guess we're good. So don't drop an F-bomb.
Yeah. We can't go another week without dropping an F-bomb because it was muted last time.
So you can't say an F-bomb
But
this
yeah,
episode.
we're starting a swear jar
This week.
next week.
No, there are witnesses in this room. If you swear, you owe.
No, you can't do
$1.
swear jars with IOU. That's just corny.
You're not putting we're not doing swear
Then we're
jars
just
with
doing a
layaways.
piggy bank.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Just Venmo me the money at that point.
We might have to just do it for push-ups.
That voice from the great beyond. That was pettiness personified right there.
All right, man. So without further ado, NFL free agency. Who won? Who lost? Who's left? And why does it matter? Without the see, doesn't it sound a lot better when I say why doesn't it effing matter? It does. You know it does.
You didn't
You're
even
looking
have to
at
say
me.
effing. You didn't have to curse.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't. So don't.
All right. Anyways, Kenny, who's your winner and who's your loser? Because you already told me off air and it was trash. And I wish you didn't tell me off air because I wanted to have a better reaction.
I didn't say anything off air. I would say there are multiple winners,
Cornball.
starting with the Cleveland Browns. That's the most obvious. Then I would say the San Francisco 49ers. And then the loser would be the
Do
Pittsburgh.
tell why these are your winners. Who did they sign?
I'm going to get to the losers. The losers are clearly the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'm going to get to that. And the New York Giants. Total losers. Epic loot. Like losery to the highest level of losery. So when it comes to the Niners, and it's rough for me to say this because I hate that franchise and it makes me nauseous even talking about the 49ers. But they traded for D Ford and only gave up like a second-round pick and paid him like a 5-year, $87.5 million contract. It wasn't all guaranteed. But still, that's insane to get a dude in his prime and they have the second pick in the draft. Like, they have D Ford, Solomon Thomas, Eric Armstead, Buckner, DeForest Buckner. And Armstead, honestly, is kind of a bust. But still, like, you have a guy like DeForest Buckner who had, like, I think 12.5 sacks this year. That's crazy. And then you throw in D Ford. I don't know what hybrid defense they're running this year, but the Niners are going to be a problem. I think didn't they get Jason Verrett too?
Yeah, they did actually just get Jason Verrett today,
for the Chargers, which is good if he.
I
completely
completely disagree with you, and here's why.
I didn't get to my second. I didn't get to the second winner.
All right, here you go.
So the second winner, the most obvious, the Cleveland Browns. Jarvis Landry was talking about getting Odell to the Browns like when he first got here, like a year ago. So you factor in the fact that they got Odell, gave up Jabril Peppers, which honestly he probably wasn't going to be their starter anyway, because Kindred was like right on his heels, the other safety. You give up a third and a fifth, okay, and not a third and a fifth. You give up your first round pick, and I think a first and a third, to get arguably
first and the third, first and the 15th.
Yeah, whatever. So you give up that for a surefire receiver in his prime who already has a paid contract, who they're probably going to just prorate his years and like make sure that he gets more of his money up front in the first 3 years, and the last 2 years are probably like optional. That's genius because Antonio Brown did that. Antonio Brown's really the biggest winner here, but I'm talking about teams, not individuals. So, yeah, the fact that they... And then the Browns could still get Eric Berry because the Chiefs cut him. The Browns could get Eric Berry, start him at strong safety, walk out there with Olivier Vernon at defensive end next to, a freak of nature and former first overall pick, Myles Garrett. You got Sheldon Richardson at 3 technique. I forget who the other D tackle is, but I think he came out of Charlotte or something. But I know who you're talking about. He'll be the nose tackle. Yeah, you cut Jamie Collins, but he was a freelancer, so really you can find a better linebacker in the draft. You got Schobert. You hope that Christian Kirksey comes back from his concussions. You already got Denzel Ward, who's a lockdown corner. All you really need is another corner. And try to sign Eric Berry and draft some decent tackles. They traded Kevin Zeitler to the Giants to get Odell. And Baker Mayfield set the rookie passing record for touchdowns as a rookie. And he's going to his second year with Odell Beckham, David Njoku, Jarvis Landry, Rashad Hollywood Higgins, and Antonio Callaway. Oh, and did I mention Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? That's pretty horrifying.
Okay, can I talk now?
The Browns are on paper the best team in the AFC North by a lot.
Can we talk? Can I talk now?
Yes, you may.
Thanks, boss.
No problem.
So, first of all, I agree with what you said about the Cleveland Browns. I think the Cleveland Browns are definitely a winner in this free agent. Even outside of Odell Beckham Jr., but getting Olivier Vernon, getting him as a pass rusher, really, as much as we loved Jabril Peppers and as much as we wanted him to succeed, I think it made sense for him to get moved. I think he needed a fresh start. But I really like what Cleveland did. I disagree with you on the 49ers. I don't like what they did at all outside of Tevin Coleman, who I really desperately wanted to go to the Raiders.
I forgot about Tevin Coleman.
He can actually start as a receiver and a running back. But, he's a better version of Jerick McKinnon. So that's kind of redundant to me.
And Breida. They have like 4 running backs
who do the same exact thing.
And are kind of really good.
But, yeah, so, ultimately, I think it's an L because I don't think Quan Alexander's going to pay off on that $14 million contract.
Oh, yeah, because he led the league in missed tackles?
Yeah, I think they said all the linebackers in the NFL, only like 2 of them had 50 missed tackles.
He had 78.
And he had 78. So he by far led the group in terms of missed tackles.
If you're going to fail, you kind of want to fail the best.
And D Ford, he had a breakout year. And even a couple years ago, he had a good year when he kind of broke on as a starter over Tamba Ali. But let's not hide the fact that he's been surrounded by pretty good players in
Chris Jones and Justin Houston.
Yeah, and even Tamba Ali before that.
Are you also gonna he's also on Auburn pass rushers?
That, and he's also still a liability against the run. So even though the 49ers actually have guys who can stop the run on defense, like Arik Armstead, who that's clearly all he can do, despite being a top 10 pick. But I digress. Point is,
Armstead was always going to be a bust. We knew it.
We did. We really wanted to believe in his athleticism, though. But yeah, I mean,
He's Tyson Jackson.
Something like that. Something along those lines. So, for me, I think the 49ers, they just spent a lot of money for no damn reason. Jason Verrett, I mean, I get it. Take a chance on a corner who was a Pro Bowl corner, but dude's literally played in, I think, like one game in 3 seasons. Like, he literally hasn't played since 2015, which was his last Pro Bowl year. And honestly, he doesn't really even fit their scheme. I mean, between Richard Sherman, Ahkello Witherspoon, they like bigger corners. So that's why adding him didn't really make sense. And they re-signed Jimmy Ward, which we all know he's a bust. Not just because he doesn't have an actual position in the league, but because he's constantly hurt. Too small to play safety. Too big to play corner. The tragic story of most of the 49ers draft picks at DB.
Ouch.
But yeah, I just don't like it. And then, I mean, I get what you're saying in terms of like, yeah, they also have the draft, but are we even sure Jimmy G is going to be any good?
Well, I think Kyle Shanahan's proven time and again what he wants his offense to look like. I mean, Matt Ryan proved that in the Super Bowl. Outside of choking horrendously, it's a play action offense that, like, Greg Kittle's their best receiver, straight up. They can run the ball, and the receivers who do get the ball can make some plays. Marquise Goodwin can make some plays. He's a legit deep threat. And all they got to do is really go out and draft some receivers now. Think about it.
Okay, so you didn't let me talk until you finished yours, but you can talk during my segment.
Because you asked,
I just want to check. Is that how it works?
You asked me a question.
Is that how it
and I
checks?
answered it. You asked me a question and I answered it. Let the record state. Don't poke the bear. And I won't.
We'll save this for.
I won't come out my
We'll
cave.
save this for fan court.
Fan court.
But yeah, man. My other winner is Green Bay Packers. I mean, they got 2 of the 5 best pass rushers available between Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith. And actually, it's funny to me that Zadarius Smith got paid more because Preston Smith is actually
a better player.
Not just a better player, but more durable. Like, he's never missed a game. He's been starting for 3 straight seasons and basically playing every game of his whole entire
career.
Never
had 10 sacks, but, you know.
I get it, but at the same time, I mean, I get it. I and a lot of people have been saying that about him, especially because he's played across from Ryan Kerrigan, that he should have more sacks. But he does so much around the football that I feel like he's going to be good there. I think another winner, as much as I hate to say it because I feel like they played the boom or bust play, the Baltimore Ravens.
They got
Mark Ingram
and Earl Thomas.
Who are 2 veterans. They're 29 years old.
They let Eric
They both
Waddle
have
walk.
miles, but they both have a ton of high
Experience.
big game experience. And I feel like they're hungry, and bringing them into a team like the Ravens in a division that's kind of floundering. I see what they're doing, and I like it because they were in the playoffs last year. Now they have a young quarterback. They need some more leadership, and so they went out and got it.
Except they signed a 3rd-string blocking tight end.
That's true.
Gave him like $20 million guaranteed.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. So
shit.
So yeah, I mean, they're kind of playing the boom or bust. I just really believe in. I believe in Earl Thomas. I believe in Mark Ingram. You know, Ingram has low mileage on him because he's basically split carries his entire career.
I think he's the all-time leading rusher in Saints history.
He's only had like 2,000-yard rushing seasons,
but he's had like high number rushing.
and his best
He's gotten
season was
close.
actually like the year before they got Alvin Kamara. He had like 1,800 yards from scrimmage and like 10 touchdowns or something.
But he had like 966 rushing yards.
No, that was the year. That was like the year before. One year he did have like
Over 1,000.
Yeah, he had like 1,200.
All I'm saying is, when we break it down, they solidified their secondary with Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, Tony Jefferson, Marlon Humphrey, and Jimmy Smith. And they re-signed their nickel corner, the cat out of Temple, Tavon Young. And they have Tyus Bowser. They have Tim Williams. They have pass rushers, and they have a young core. They lost C.J. Mosley, but I honestly said it and I called it, that C.J. Mosley was the perfect New York Jets middle linebacker. He was literally like, what's his face, David Harris 2.0.
We'll get to that later, but
yeah,
I feel like, where do you see the Jets? Do they fall on the winner or loser? Or are they no?
The Jets totally won
because they spent a lot of money on C.J. Mosley on the defense, and they spent a lot of money on Le'Veon Bell, and they got hosed by Anthony Barr, who committed to them and then went back to Minnesota.
But they should probably get a.
He actually would have been perfect there. That might actually be a career move he regrets the rest of his life.
Nah,
because he could have been a 3-4 end with Leonard Williams.
3-4 outside linebacker.
Yeah, 3-4 outside linebacker with Leonard Williams playing beside him.
And then they draft
and C.J. Mosley cleaning up the run on the inside.
And then they draft
literally all he would have had to do was rush the passer.
With 4.4 speed and 6.5. But, I mean, Minnesota has a better team and a better defense. So it's also that. Him, Eric Kendricks, let's say the Vikings draft Devin Bush. You have 3 linebackers who can run like a sub 4.5. And look at their defense. If you actually get, and they finally cut Andrew Sandejo, so you have Harrison Smith. They actually get a proper, strong safety. Maybe Eric Berry goes to Minnesota. Who knows? And then you get like a Devin Bush at outside linebacker, and the defensive line's already good. Minnesota's defense is right there again, and all you got to do is fix the offense, which they're doing. They're fixing they cut Mike Reimers and a couple other people. But when it comes to your question about the Jets, they got KO out of Oakland.
At $50 million.
Doesn't matter.
Stupid.
They got. Do you know who was on their offensive line?
I get that. I see what it is. You know, you gamble. You're giving Le'Veon all this money. You got to give him someone to open some holes for him.
Sam Darnold needs a Le'Veon Bell. He would be his best friend.
He does need that for sure. He's Ronald Jones to
Sam Darnold.
7th, exponentially better.
Better. But he doesn't have 4.4 speed. And the Buccaneers are probably going to use
Didn't Ronald Jones run a 4.52 at the combine?
He ran a 4. He didn't run a 4.
You don't like talking about that.
He's the Texas Tesla. He's the Texas Tesla.
But let it be a Texas
He's
running back.
He's the 5th all-time leading rusher in USC
Let
history.
it be a Texas running back who runs a 4.4 at his pro day, but ran a 4.5 at his combine. Then you only point to the combine numbers.
Chris Owen.
But a USC running back, now you cite the pro day numbers. Oh, how convenient. Conflict of interest, Kenny of Troy? I think so. But let's move on.
Unlike all those rich-ass
we already
white
know
kids,
you're
I
USC.
didn't get falsely admitted into USC.
Ooh, but we'll get to that later.
But I'd definitely be a great fit in their school.
Man, another loser, I was going to say, man, the Detroit Lions really just...
They're the John of the week.
They really tried to buy relevancy. Like, it was really, really sad.
They tried to buy love from an escort.
But yeah, between...
a $90 million contract.
To Trey Flowers, a dude who's never had double-digit sacks.
He had 21 sacks for the Patriots, and he was in Matt Patricia's defense. Oh, and he ran a 4.9. Yeah, people say speed don't matter, but if a pit bull's chasing you down the street,
but it gets
I'd rather
worse.
run a 4.2 than a 5.7.
It gets worse. Their cloud chasing of New England gets even worse. They signed washed-up-ass Danny Amendola, which, how does he keep getting contracts?
$4.5 million. His attorney.
How does he keep getting contracts?
His agent is amazing. Shout out to his agent.
Shout out to his agent. Which, by the way, man, shout out to Kyle Long for that, because that was hilarious. Someone at PFF was like, Kyle Long's the most overrated player in the league based off his salary.
Thanks to my agent.
And then he basically quoted the tweet and said, shout out to my agent, and tagged his agent. Man, those Longs. I fuck with them. Ah, shit.
Really?
Fuck. Damn it. Ah, that's 4.
What? Oh, shit.
Not this again. 2 weeks in a row?
That's me.
No, it was definitely me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me. I was like, wait a minute. So, wow, it was you and you dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, that was $5 going to the Hood Chinese fund.
That's definitely $5.
And then to even
That's
make
ice
things
cream
worse,
money.
they signed nickel corner Justin Coleman, who's also a Patriot.
Who?
And then
Who?
they even got Jesse James from the Steelers, and they gave him a bunch of
You mean
money
the dude
too.
from Pokemon?
No, Jesse James, the wannabe Heath
wrestler?
Miller with the beard.
You mean the racist dude who dated Sandra Bullock from Blindside?
Is that who he is? I don't
You
know.
mean the serial killer Jesse James? You mean Jesse James from Pokemon? Are you sure? Team Rocket fame?
The dude who had like one good season like 2 years ago before Vance McDonald came and took all his cheese.
And he kept dropping passes. Yo, by the way, what is the message? What is the chat room saying right now? Oh, because Panther slander is coming.
Yo, what's good, X? What's up? What's up, Kesey? How you doing, man?
What's up, X Squad? Appreciate you. We love you. Don't worry, we'll get to the Falcons in a minute.
Some other losers of the week.
Let's see.
No, I'm getting you. The Titans. Roger Saffold. I love Roger Saffold. I met him before. He's a cool dude. One-time Raider, almost a Raider. Raider for like a day.
Tell you about that.
Whatever you
bungalow.
want to call about it. He signed a mega deal with the Titans. And then you splurge that with the fact that they spent a bunch of money on Adam Humphries after one good year where he didn't even surpass 1,000 yards. I think he had like 893 or something.
718, I think, or some crazy number.
And they basically paid him to be their number one receiver.
Their number 3 receiver. He's an overpriced slot receiver.
Exactly.
At least be Drew Bennett. At least Drew Bennett put up 1,000-yard season. The Titans just are always going to be trash. Sorry. I hate to break it to y'all. They're never breaking out of the AFC South. It's just not going to happen.
Any other losers I forgot?
The Steelers. The
I mean,
Chiefs.
I think the Steelers are a loser, as you mentioned, losing AB. And then even the Chiefs, cutting Houston, cutting Eric Berry. Even though they got Honey Badger, Tyrone Matthew. I don't know if they're any better. Like,
are the Jags losers?
They're no.
We're gonna save that for the Todd Gurley segment.
We're gonna save that. I mean, Nick Foles for Blake Bortles. I think it's a wash personally. And then
The Chargers are the Chargers winners. They got Tyrod Taylor. And Thomas Davis.
I'm not gonna say the Chargers are a winner yet because
they haven't won anything.
That, and they lost a lot of free agents. They lost Verrett. They lost Williams. And then they have the other Williams at corner they have to re-sign, who's a restricted free agent, so he'll probably return. But they re-signed Perriman, signed Davis. They still need a backup running back. They still have a couple holes to fill.
Eckler's nice.
They still have a I mean, who's going to fill Mike Williams is ready to be a full-time number 2 receiver?
He's ready to be a number 1 receiver, if we're going to be honest.
Ooh,
Mike
he's coming
Williams-
for Keenan Allen? Hot take of the day?
He's already faster than Keenan Allen. And he had a bunch of big plays last year. I think he had over 10 touchdowns. He's ready. Mike Williams, I'm telling you, like, he wasn't dominating Alabama in that title game for no reason. He wasn't doing it for no reason. Like, he was a dominant receiver. And I think in any other offense, he'd been given the ball more.
But yeah, they also got to address their defensive tackle position still. If Sue goes there, Sue would be great there for the Chargers.
They
could get him.
They
But they still have
re-signed
Phil Line, who had like 10 sacks in 2 years.
They re-signed Brandon Mebane.
Huh?
The Chargers re-signed him. Don't hate on that, man. You know where Sue should go? You know where Sue should go? Are you ready for this hot take?
Go.
The Indianapolis Colts.
Why? Because if Jihadi Ward can have success there, then anybody can?
They re-signed Marcus Hunt. You put Marcus Hunt, actually, and Jihadi Ward didn't. It wasn't Jihadi Ward. It was Danico Autry. He had 9
My
sacks.
bad.
If you put Danico Autry on that D-line, Marcus Hunt, and then Ndamukong Suh anywhere on that D-line, now your linebackers won't be like, you don't have to worry so much about your other linebackers and your safety positions. You won't have to reach for a defensive tackle in this draft for the other Colts. I would throw money at Ndamukong Suh, even if it's only for 1 or 2 years. You're the Colts. You're trying to rebuild your defense. You already have an all-pro middle linebacker. Why not put an all-pro defensive tackle in front of him and let Sue actually go get the quarterback? And Marcus Hunt be, I don't know, a role player?
So, one winner I didn't get to, which I forgot, just going through it again. I actually like what the Cardinals did. Like, a lot. Between getting Terrell Suggs.
It's official that they got Terrell Suggs?
I thought it was.
There's rumors. I mean, he's from Arizona.
They re-signed, no, they didn't re-sign Golden. They signed somebody else, though, too. I'm blanking on what else they did. Help me out.
It really wasn't all that important.
They signed a linebacker, too.
I think the Buccaneers got Dayon Buchanan on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, who cares?
But he's back with Bruce Arians, so it'll actually probably be really good.
All right, man. Anything else? Like, anything else you want to talk about in terms of free agency?
I think.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know it was gross.
Nasty ass.
Sinuses, bro. I'm dying right now. I'm sweating. It's hot in here. It's ridiculous. Antonio Brown.
Wait. That's who the Cardinals got. They got Kevin White. I actually like that move, even though I know he's a complete total draft bust. Cardinals really got nothing to lose.
He's fast. He runs a 4.35.
He's fast. He runs a 4.3. He made a couple highlight catches last year. Gave them something to gave some people hope.
And it'll actually be in the offense where like receivers get the ball. Cliff Kingsbury's offense, which has no proven success in the NFL. But hey, somehow I feel like David Johnson's gonna get hosed and gonna get traded.
The Giants are definitely a loser because they try to
Gentlemen,
get golden showers, as Ray, shout out to FPC Radio, said, between Marcus Golden and Golden Tate.
I'm just gonna be the bigger man.
The worst part is, man,
David Gettleman is smoking some great blow. What I don't know what drugs he's on with James Dolan, but I want some.
Wow, that yeah.
Whatever drugs he's doing, like whatever leverage he has on somebody, like if he's not like I know.
Oh, the Cardinals also got Jordan Hicks. That's who else they got.
Yeah, he
too.
got like a 4-year.
He got stupid money, but I think that's actually a good pickup.
He's good for them.
He actually won a Super Bowl. So
I want to know what they're going to... Yeah, but he has injury issues, so he might get hurt again. I want to know what
he played in 12 games last year.
I want to know what they're going to do with Hassan Reddick.
You've been wanting to know that. I think everyone wants to know that.
Hassan Reddick is not a bust. He's been horribly used and mismanaged. I think if you just give him a role, let him grow in it, like I would take Hassan Reddick, and I would try him out at defensive end. But anyway.
So... let's back up for a second. So why don't you talk about...
The Packers also got Adrian Amos.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Former Bear safety, and the Raiders passed on him. But the Antonio Brown thing?
No, I was going to say, before we get to that, why don't you just kind of talk about free agency? Nobody cares about Buffalo.
No, he burned Dallas. He's like, they're like, how are you just going to be disloyal to Dallas like that? He's like, how the hell are you going to Buffalo? He's like, we didn't win in Dallas either. And then someone's like, you're being so disrespectful. And then Des Bryant laughed at his retweet because they did win in Dallas.
I think Philly's a losers too, honestly, between losing Michael Bennett, Hicks.
They traded Michael Bennett to the Patriots.
Yeah, but still.
25th round pick, and then they signed Malik Jackson.
As much as I like Malik Jackson.
Of a high school that you coached at.
Yeah, outside of that, though.
That's the high school, Pete.
Outside of Birmingham. But outside of that, man.
CIF champs.
And losing Nick Foles, like, Philadelphia.
They traded to get Deshaun Jackson back.
Okay, cool.
Now they just got
real heartfelt story, but outside of that, I mean,
he should have really signed.
Are they going to get Shady McCoy back?
He should have signed with the Raiders. He should have never went to Tampa Bay. He should have definitely gone to the Raiders.
But yeah, man. So why don't you tell people out there why free agency matters and why everyone's been talking about the same shit all week long?
Oh, do I need to give another history on Curt Flood and the greatness that was Curt Flood?
Go for it.
So if you didn't know, Curt Flood was an outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals years ago. I think it was like the 60s or 70s. And he's the reason baseball got free agency because he fought arbitration. He was like, I should be allowed, once my contract is up, to go to whoever I want to. And he was blackballed out of baseball for it. And he died broken poor, apparently. But I could go about that all day. but I'll save that for my rant at the end of the show. When it comes to free agency and just in general with athletes, I mean, I'm not going to make this a race issue, but when it seems to only be it seems to only be the black athletes where it's a problem because nobody says a damn thing. When Peyton Manning kept getting his money, it was never an issue. But when a black player wanted more money, oh, you're being a cancer to your team. But my biggest thing is with receivers. People don't like seeing wide receivers get paid for some reason. And it's just kind of funny because they're the ones making catches and stressing the defense and putting their lives on the line every time they touch a ball.
Are they really, though?
Are
you Kenny Benny?
T.O.?
Are you Kenny Berry, the dude who can barely walk because of the injuries you sustained playing on offensive line? Are you really going to sit here?
I can't walk. I'm just tired, and I was at work earlier.
Okay, regardless, we're not going to get into the logistics of your waddle. Besides the fact.
First off, that was because I got a hit
besides the
fact.
In
7th grade.
Okay.
And now I have
rock with me. All right, I get it. Okay, yeah. You're sensitive about your walk. I think all fat people are.
No, like, yeah,
no one,
you're fat, you have a waddle.
Like, no one wants to be
injuries.
the fat dude with a limp. Like, trust me. Like, that's one of your biggest fears, being a fat dude, is having a limp.
Says the guy who walks like he has a narrow urethra. Calm down.
Okay, dude. Whatever.
Okay, Hank Hill.
Whatever. I'm just trying to ask you a question. So I
felt like a bunch of insults before the question.
Again, you, the dude with all types of leg and knee injuries, are going to sit here and tell me that wide receivers are the ones with their lives at risk every time they touch the ball. First of all, they don't even touch the ball on every single play. Second of all, regardless of if linemen touch the ball or even see the ball, they're literally making contact with somebody's head and possibly their knees.
Okay, a lot of these quarterbacks in the NFL are trash, right? We can agree on that, right? A lot of these quarterbacks in the NFL are trash, yes or no?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. So if a lot of these, I think there are obviously way more better receivers than there are better quarterbacks. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so there are way more better and elite wide receivers in this league with shitty quarterback play. It's like being a great running back and a terrible offensive line. You do all the work just to get 3.5 yards. Kind of like Le'Veon did in Pittsburgh for a while. So I'm saying, yeah, Antonio Brown had got a bunch of catches, a bunch of yards, a lot of touchdowns, led the league in touchdowns last year. And people were still giving him shit, and he missed a game. And you look at who his quarterback was and how Ben Roethlisberger has never taken accountability for a damn thing.
We're gonna get to Antonio Brown.
I mean, no.
We're gonna get to Antonio. I got some stuff to say about Antonio Brown.
I bet you do, but you won't say it to his face because he's an Oakland Raider.
Yeah,
he'll smack the shit out of you.
I definitely will.
He will smack the shit out of you.
I definitely will. I will talk to Antonio Brown.
Now you went from I got some shit to say about Antonio Brown.
I didn't say it was negative. I didn't say it was negative.
I know.
You assumed it was negative.
I'm just
you assumed because you're a troll.
I'm not a troll. First off,
all right, hurry up.
I'm a grown man. What?
With your Russian bot accounts.
First off, I don't have Russian bot
accounts. You're probably the one who brought up that J. Cole review like 2 years ago, 5 years after the fact.
Nah, you're the one who wrote the J. Cole story.
You are probably my Russian bot trolls, honestly.
Nah, but when
like
J.
you probably
Cole
have some fake burner Twitter accounts that you use anytime you get mad at me just to troll me.
Are you sure about that? Nah.
Yeah, you probably got all my GFEs and typos just sitting in your archive in a drive.
That's why my laptop, I was like, oh shit, I get it. I gotta get my laptop working. But nah, in all seriousness, I look at guys like Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Isaac Bruce. Yes, I said Isaac Bruce. Torrey Holt, Plaxico Burress, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, anybody who had to play with Ryan Tannehill or Matt Moore, Braylon Edwards before he started sucking. Oh, and by the way, my number one receiver.
I don't even know what you're talking about because I asked you to talk about free agency in general. Somehow you're talking about receivers and how they don't get paid enough.
I'm bringing.
As someone who's never caught a ball in your life,
I've caught plenty of passes. First off, I have hands. I was just too slow to play tight end. Everyone knows that. I'll moss you. Don't play with me.
Every lineman thinks they can play tight end.
No, I've literally.
Have you ever
I've
met a
lost
lineman
people.
who doesn't want to play tight end?
Yes.
That should be the poll question this
They
week.
wanted to be, and they were probably going to go D1. But anyway, no, in all seriousness, I look at a guy like DeAndre Hopkins and all the receivers I just named. They can't even get paid what they're worth. Like, the league will blackball you just so they don't have to pay you. And then when you get paid, they say you're overrated. But then when you put up numbers year after year and your team's not winning, they blame you.
Who said it? Would you rather be overrated or unemployed?
Would you rather be underpaid or overrated?
No,
or
somebody else said, would you rather be overrated?
Jay-Z said it on Soul Paul on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Mind.
But since then, somebody else said, would you rather be
better?
overrated or unemployed? And I think it was Cole, but I just didn't want to say Cole because I didn't want to hear you talk shit about me saying Cole.
Because he
probably
did it on the album with no features yet again.
No, I think he actually did it in a feature on someone else's album.
What was it, a 21 Savage song?
Might have been.
But anyway, shout out to Jay-Z. But yeah. Bottom line is, you have cats who do their job to the T and have to fight tooth and nail to get paid.
You're really just specifically talking about Antonio Brown. So why don't you just specifically? Who else are you talking about? Because Odell Beckham got paid.
Rushers,
Odell Beckham got paid. He didn't have to hold out. He didn't have to hold out. He got paid.
He kind of did have to hold out.
No, he really did.
He held out for a little bit. He held out.
He didn't miss training camp. He didn't miss a game. Yeah, so is it really a holdout, or is it just you not showing up to practice because you don't want to?
It was good negotiating and proper.
I guess.
But bottom line is, free agency. It's like if you were a free agent, you were unemployed, and you were like, okay, I have these 5 job offers, and someone shits on you because you chose the offer with the most money. What would your response be back? Aside from you can go F off on your mother's birthday in front of your father.
Because here's the thing about free agency that makes it kind of complicated.
No.
Because to your point, it's like, yeah, you do want to you want to put yourself in a situation to where you can make money, but you also want to pick the opportunity that's going to make you money now as well as money in the future, as in put you in a position to where you're going to excel, put you in a defense or an offense where you're going to excel, put you in a city where your family can thrive, put you around teammates who you want to be around. Yeah, money isn't everything because there's so much that goes into the game of football.
But in football, money is everything.
But, yes, because it's called the not-for-long league.
And then there's not guaranteed contracts.
So because the contracts aren't guaranteed, sometimes you do have to take that money back because as much as you want to play the career development game and like, okay, where can I get on? Where can I make the biggest difference? Where do I see myself? At the same time, your next play is not guaranteed, so you got to get what you can now.
And Cole Beasley said it best when somebody was trying to get at him on Twitter. They don't give jobs. He said in response to some dude trolling, they don't give jobs to undrafted free agents. I earned my paycheck.
And it's true. It's really true.
It's like, bro, you and I can't go out and do what these NFL guys do. So you're telling me I have a skill set, and I don't care what field it's in, I have a skill set, I'm the best at what I do, or I'm great at what I do. And all of a sudden, now I hit the free market, and I have the power to negotiate, and it's a problem, and now the media and the NFL-sponsored media and everybody else wants to play a bunch of narratives, and now I'm selfish. No one says coaches are selfish when they take these fat-ass contracts and fail.
So my whole thing with free agency this year specifically is
the salary cap went up too this year. That's why everybody's getting more contracts.
Everybody, I think positions that were undervalued before,
like safety,
like inside linebacker, are definitely getting more money. I think even receivers, you're seeing more receivers catch on early instead of at the back end of free agency. It's almost like the trends over the past 3 seasons where we kind of saw linebackers go towards the end of free agency and receivers go towards the end of the free agency. We're kind of seeing that flipped on its head.
By the way, right tackle Juwan James for the Miami Dolphins signed a fat ass contract with the Denver Broncos. He wanted to actually he wanted to be traded to Denver last year.
The Broncos actually made good moves, honestly. Even getting Kareem Jackson, I thought that was a good move.
He can play safety, so that's solid.
Yeah, especially losing Bradley Roby, they needed another versatile safety,
a slot corner guy.
But yeah, ultimately, man, free agency.
Nickel corner's getting paid.
Here's the context behind the whole situation. Great players don't usually make it to free agency because they either get caught up in franchise tags and stuff like that. But those same players who get locked up under contract are also the ones that find themselves in bad situations and try to negotiate out them, i.e. Antonio Brown, i.e. Le'Veon Bell. So that's why it's like all the power is with the teams. It's like you said,
David Gettleman is trash, by the way.
They cut players. They cut Eric Berry got cut, dude.
He beat cancer.
He beat cancer
twice.
He's been a model citizen in Kansas City, a leader.
And he only had a $7.5 million cap hit.
And they cut him.
I
just
can
like
find
that.
someone on that roster who's getting overpaid and not delivering.
So,
and his name ain't Eric Berry. By the way, Eric Berry was a free safety coming out of college and was forced to play strong safety most of his career. That's why he only has 14 career picks, because he had to cover for the Chiefs' trash-ass pass defense all these years because they kept drafting corners and they failed.
So, yeah, ultimately, that's why free agency is kind of a big deal, but also kind of not, because ultimately any player you sign, the chances of them having a great impact and helping you get over the top are really not that high. But if you can hit, it really can speed up your process. It's just really a rolling the dice.
It can change your whole offseason.
And it really does, because
it gives you all the leverage for the NFL draft.
Because look at a team like the Oakland Raiders, right? They just built all this momentum by getting Antonio Brown. And then they went and parlayed it into overpaying for Trent Brown, and then overpaying for LaMarcus Joyner, and then getting Tyrell Williams, another overpay. But the point is, we now know more about their draft strategy, because before this free agency, they were just a blank canvas. They were a team who had a quarterback, which we weren't even sure if he was the quarterback. Now we know he's the quarterback. He has to be, with all the receivers they're giving him and all the clout they're giving him by showing him with all them all the damn time. Yeah, man, I'm over the sappy stuff. Get the football. Sorry, ass Raiders. And I'm a Raiders fan. But, yeah, the point is, free agency, it really is a gamble, and that's what makes it fun. But that's also what makes it bad, and that's kind of what's going on with the players, too. Like you said, it's like, you know, do I want to take this franchise tag and guarantee money, or do I want to hold out for a long-term contract? And ultimately, even Le'Veon Bell, he held out, didn't want to play under the franchise tag, didn't want to get overused, didn't want to get hurt, didn't want to play for a team he didn't want to play for, didn't believe in. So he sat out the whole season, forgoed his whole $15 million guarantee money as the highest paid running back on a back-to-back franchise tags.
He got the third most guaranteed money.
He got the third most guaranteed money.
Tied with somebody, but $35 million. I think he had the same as Adrian Peterson.
But if you lump in this year that he basically went unpaid,
he took a whole year off though.
It took him took a lot of money out of his pocket.
And
he could have had the $15 million last year and then gotten this deal, and it would have been solid. And even now,
not playing, he preserved his body.
Even now, he didn't get as much as Todd Gurley.
That don't matter.
He got David Johnson money, which
that's fine.
Which David Johnson was coming off an ACL surgery.
That's fine.
And got that money. Haven't played in a year and a half.
But when he
did
Le'Veon
play, he was Bell,
great. Who broke his thumb.
Le'Veon Bell was great the last time we saw him.
Yeah. And didn't get paid. He should have got paid 3 years ago.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They kept trying to avoid it.
It's a gamble for the players. It's a gamble for the team, and that's what makes it both exciting and both stupid at the same time.
I look at it as get your money, because these GMs and coaches don't care about you like that.
Yeah, but
I'ma
that's
tell-
what I'm saying.
What
is
would you tell
even when you take
No, let me break it down for you.
because even when you take the money, it's not even guaranteed because you could get cut. You could suck. The money's not guaranteed.
It's signing
These
bonus
big
money.
contracts, teams are signing as headlines. A lot of them are only like halfway
They're really
guaranteed,
they're only
or they're
2-year
only guaranteed to
contracts.
2 years, 3
Joyner's
years
contract
maybe.
was what, like 1 year?
Yeah, no, his contract is 2 years,
But it's 2 years of guaranteed money.
something like that. It
Or
it
1
just
year of
depends.
guaranteed
It depends on how they can. It depends on how they structure. I don't know. I don't
They
have
have
it in
like
front of me.
they have player options, but I'm saying
Not even player options. They just have ways of front loading the contract to where they get like 60% of it in the first year or the first 2 years. Like Antonio Brown gets like 30 million this year, but then he only gets like 10 million the next couple of years.
that's fine. Though.
Something stupid
I would
like
take
that.
that. I would take that in a heartbeat. If I'm never good again, I still got my 30 million. It's like if you were going to the New York Times and they were going to pay you, you going to take less money up front, and we're like, no, I want money on the back end. And you got to negotiate it in court if something happens. No, give me all my chips
That's not
right now.
That's not a good comparison
I know
because
it's not a good comparison, but I'm saying
because the
those
difference
contracts
is
well, actually,
well the difference is because the
New
more
York Times is hemorrhaging money and cutting
no
people
no
off,
no
laying people
no
off.
actually that's not true at all.
I'm
but-
joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, because you don't know. But anyways,
Okay.
the point
Yeah,
is
New York Times is adding millions of journalism jobs. That's totally a thing that's happening.
nobody's adding millions of jobs.
I'm obviously being sarcastic.
Anyways, the point is the difference between the NFL and like any regular career negotiations,
We
what you
know.
keep comparing it to, is in the career setting, as your experience goes up, your value goes up. In the NFL, it's almost the opposite. As your experience goes up, your pay pretty much goes down because you're tainted. You have miles, your liability, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, fine. I'll compare it to boxing.
I don't care. I'm over it. We already talked a lot about it. I'm ready to move on.
But I'm just saying, get your money. Get your money up front.
All right, man. Are there any other free agents you want to talk about who are still available, who might still be able to help
Zach
a team?
Brown got cut by the Deadskins.
He's sorry. He's
No,
been
not.
sorry.
Not really.
He's not
always
that
around the
good, bro.
ball, but he's a good, like, he doesn't have to be your best linebacker, but he's competent for what he does. He makes a lot of tackles. He's fast. He's good in coverage.
I'm good.
If I needed a starting middle linebacker in a pinch, I'll take Zach Brown. If I got other players around me, yeah, I'll take Zach Brown. He shouldn't be like the best linebacker on your team, but I'll take Zach Brown.
Sue, who we already talked about.
And he ran 4.45.
Jared Cook is also still a free agent. Raiders tight end. He's probably not going to come back with the
Went
amount
to
of
the
money they
Saints.
spent.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. He did. He just
visited
just did
the
it.
Saints.
Who else?
Eric Weddle signed with the Rams. How you feel about that?
I don't care.
I mean, really? You sure? He's already their best
He had
safety.
no picks last year.
That's man,
And actually, JJ was actually pretty good last year. He was quietly good last year.
Can we be honest?
Jimmy Johnson, or I think his name's Jimmy Johnson.
Nah.
What is it?
You talking about the strong safety?
Jim Jackson. No.
No, it's wrong. Went to Wake Forest, I think. Number 43 for the Los Angeles Rams. I'm spacing on his name. But yeah, he was a
John
good-
Johnson. I'm sorry.
Yeah, John Johnson was a good strong safety, but Eric Weddle can do a lot for that defense. And I think he's the perfect piece for a guy like why am I forgetting his name? Their defensive coordinator. I'm trash today.
You really are.
I really am. Buddy, not Buddy. Damn, I'm really forget. You know his name, the defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips. There we go. Wade Phillips has a guy with a high football.
I just
IQ.
wanted you to bleed out, like my brain,
You're an asshole.
because I have CTE.
That's an aneurysm. That's the definition of an aneurysm, bleeding out of your brain. Wow, we're really morbid this episode. It's kind of gross. Anyway, so with Eric Weddle and re-signing Dante Fowler Jr., I think the Rams defense will be even better.
Ugh.
They might just draft Dexter Lawrence at nose tackle in the first round.
They still have linebackers to sign.
Yeah, they might as well just sign Zach Brown.
Or that sorry ass middle linebacker from Cincinnati, who was also in.
Vontaze Burfict?
No, Preston Smith. No, not Preston Smith.
Yeah, it's not.
Is it Preston Brown?
Yeah, but he's the inside linebacker. Huh?
Yeah, he had a bad year last year. But yeah,
he ran a 4.9 coming out of the combine. He really shouldn't be playing outside linebacker anywhere. If we're being honest.
But yeah, man, we haven't really addressed the topic, so I think we should talk about it finally. It's been building up.
Consistency in finding a barber.
You're Oakland Raiders, man. What's up? Are you a Raiders fan or not? Because AP's a Raider, so
wow,
we need to know right now. What's good?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Shice right off the air. Like, when you're in a relationship with somebody, and they just let me finish, sir. When you're in a relationship with somebody and they're just messing up for so long, and you finally take a break from them, and they really, like, you gotta show them that you don't really need them as much as they think you do, and that you have options. It's only right to at least give it one more try of reconciliation.
Bruh.
So
my God.
So
this is a plot twist. Now you're going to be a Raiders fan again.
I didn't say that.
You're a dirtbag.
I didn't say I wouldn't be a Raiders fan.
You know what you are?
But I didn't say... All I'm saying
you know what
is,
you are right now? Let me break it down for you.
No. Let me finish.
No,
let me finish. No, you're not letting me
All
finish.
right, go ahead, scumbag.
Stop talking and mute your own mic. But anyway, like I'm saying, it's like I've moved on, but I still care. It's like, how do I put this? You eat like half a thing of ice cream. You go back and finish it later. Like,
no, you finish it all in that first setting.
Okay, depends on the
you just say no.
Yeah, exactly.
You put your head down and say too.
It's a non-definitive answer. All I'm saying is, yes doesn't mean no, and no doesn't always mean yes. Sometimes it just means,
is that where we're at in 2019? Now you're trying to get canceled and me too?
Whoa. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying,
okay.
When it comes to relationships, that's your hill to die on. When it comes to relationships, you know, like I said, I have options as a fan.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell you who you are right now.
And
let me tell you who you are.
I still have love in my heart for the Raiders.
No. Shut up. Let me tell you who you are.
I'm never going to go back to being a full fan. Like, oh my God, it's Oakland. Like, nah, bro, you're moving to Vegas. Like, I still don't like that. I still don't like that Oakland's being gentrified and they're like, I don't like what you're leaving. You're just leaving the city in ruins.
Okay.
The stadium they got to pay for that's just a dead hangnail that they can't get rid of. I don't like that.
I get that, but honestly,
no.
Honestly,
it's
they
could the city.
They could easily sell that for like $500 million and get out of that and
you
make
sound
money
so
off
easy
of it.
As if what they're going to put Amazon's going to move there?
Yeah, actually, that's actually a great idea. That's actually a great idea. Yeah, that's actually a great idea.
We're going to cut this out the episode. Yeah. Y'all didn't hear that. Sorry, Oakland.
Google, I don't know. There's a lot of people that could buy it. There's a lot. That's a prime piece of real estate that
and
many people would buy.
Like, you know what? AAF, just build a team there. Like, can
what's probably they'll probably sell it to a developer and build a bunch of housing, gentrify it more.
Oh, it'll be elite. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's probably what will happen.
Now I'm sad. Again, this is a really morbid episode. Like, I'm hurt. But yeah, see, this is why. It's like if your partner's been cheating on you forever, and you say, you know what,
okay,
I'm gonna cheat.
Can I still explain to you who you are, though?
Oh, you cheated on your partner. Yeah, but they cheated on me like 87 times.
Can I explain to you? Can I explain to you who you are, though?
Who am I? I'm Kenneth Frank James Barry.
No,
who are you?
You're that D-bag who sits across the room.
I'm not a D-bag.
From their partner and mate, and is like,
stop projecting.
And is like, you know what, like, I really like you a lot, and you say all these good things and like blah blah blah, and then you're like,
you show and prove nothing.
But I just kind of need to work on myself, and I need like more time. But
No.
we can still slide on
We're
the
still
on the
talking about
side.
me or
we
you.
we can still splash on the side, here and there when I feel like it. I'll hit you up. Like if it's a Tuesday and I want to go to a $5 movie, I might hit you up, or like whatever. If it's 1 a.m. and I just got back from ladies' night and not getting any, I might hit you up. That's who you are. You're that dirtbag who's rationalizing how great someone is, but yet you still don't love them.
No.
And you won't let them go,
You're
and
off
you won't
base.
let yourself go.
You're totally off base.
Move on.
You're totally off base.
That's all I'm gonna say. If you're
totally
you're either
off
with
base.
the nation or you're against the nation. So that's why I'm drawing the line in the
Okay,
sand.
Mexican Farrakhan,
That's
relax.
why I'm drawing the line in the sand, because you over here trying
There's no line
you
in the
over
sand.
you over here trying to break up over like a 2-year period. Like,
Nah, it's more like we're more than friends with benefits, but we're not in a relationship.
yeah, you. This is why I've been telling you you're a fuckboy more and more as the
I'm
show going on.
not.
Like really, like
I'm not.
like really. You literally just said that. You said we're more than friends with benefits, but we're not in a relationship. That is fuckboy lingo
There's no
101.
label. There's
That
no
is-
label. There's no
Just
label
stop.
on this.
Just stop. You're going to the fuckboy glossary right now. You just said no label right now.
There is no label.
Yeah, you are.
They never
wrong.
were like, nah. I don't. Nah.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to that derogatory and quite frankly,
here we go.
quite frankly,
here we
misogynistic
go.
and problematic
Oh my God!
jargon
Here we go.
that was
here we
aimed
go.
at me
Here comes with the
by
fallacy.
Mr. Fuckboy
Here's the-
himself.
Here's the cable news shit right
Mr.
here.
First Ballot Hall of Fame fuckboy.
He's going to the
Pete
cable.
Camarillo.
He's going to the cable news playbook. I'm offended, sir. Why would you even suggest that?
First off, it's just an NFL team. Everybody calm
Oh
down,
my!
relax.
You're really going to the cable news playbook right now. I'm
No,
really
I'm not.
upset.
No,
yeah,
I'm not.
you are.
No,
now
I'm
you're
just
downplaying
speaking
the
the
context of everything. Well, this is just a sports podcast, anyways.
Well, first off, no one said that. This is a cultural institution of learning and savagery. But anyway,
All right, let's move on.
that's what this podcast is kind of like, if we're being honest. But no, are you still an Oakland Raiders fan?
With a grain of salt. With a grain of
wow,
salt.
Wow.
I'm highly skeptical. Can I get to my take? Can I get to my take?
I can't be cut off. I was cut off the entire time I was explaining myself. You just said it right there. That is the Hall of Fame. I'm stealing second on the way to third, and the winning run is coming in. Fuckboy line of all time. You literally just said, I am, but with a grain of salt. Last time I checked, if you put salt in an open wound, that shit hurts.
Woo.
So seeing as how
Okay.
it's a grain of salt. Tell me how that's healthy. 1, 2.
Woo.
Tell me how there's any
Are we
forgiveness.
talking about real life or football right now?
Yeah, this
like
is-
what's going on right
No.
now? Are you projecting?
You're clearly projecting, and then you just told on yourself with that last line.
Fuck.
And 3,
This is bad.
this is bad.
Let's change the subject.
No.
This
You
is
wanted
really
to paint
bad.
me in a corner,
This
and you
is really
realized
bad.
you wanted to paint me in a corner
This
in a
is
dark
bad.
room, and I turned the lights on, and you were like,
You could
"Oh
be
shit,
a Mike next
I'm in
week.
trouble."
You could be a Mike next week.
This is why people shouldn't
This
get
is
into
why you
arguments
should
with
be
me.
a Mike.
'Cause you find out more about yourself than you do me. All I'm saying is, I put no labels on it. I said I'm still with you. I'm just not exclusively with you. You said I'm with you with limitations. I'm with you, but I'm not letting my hoes go. That's what you just said that. You just said that.
Hey, I didn't clarify. Okay.
No, you did clarify. You literally just said, but with a grain of salt. My mom don't say I love you, but not really. But yeah, I guess I do. With a grain of salt.
Okay. Can
Come
I
on.
finish now?
Can my biological father?
Can I
be
get
my-
off fan
can my-
court?
No.
Am I on fan
Oh,
court
no,
right
we're
now?
not at fan court. No. We're in the probationary stages. We're in mediation right now. This could go to homie court or fan court if you want to. We can take it there. I can walk away from the table anytime. You have no leverage here, sir.
Okay. Can
You
I
gave it all
talk now?
away.
Can I talk now?
I just want to know, where's the salt? Where's the salt in the wound? And why
I'm a
won't you
Raiders
clean it?
fan, but much like you, I have a lot of
When you
issues.
say the word "but," it negates everything that came before it.
Okay, I have
English.
I have a lot of issues with everything that's going on with the Raiders. I feel,
Unresolved issues? Or
as
resolved?
you do, as you do.
No. Don't compare.
As you do.
Don't link our cases together.
As you do.
No, this is Tupac in the rape case. You can try by yourself, dog.
No.
You can try by yourself.
That's the first part.
I got my own attorney.
Okay.
No,
are you done?
you're on your own on this one.
Anyways, I'm just setting you up. That's the baseline. That's where I'm at.
Let the record say he said he set me up.
That's the baseline. After that, I'm highly skeptical of the Oakland Raiders because, well,
So
frankly,
you don't trust them.
they suck. Yeah, I don't
So
trust
you
them.
don't trust them, and they suck.
I don't trust them. I don't trust them. They haven't done anything for me to trust them in over, 17 years?
And what have you done? Why are you bringing up old stuff? I thought you moved past that after
Oh,
the
I
12 and
definitely
4
haven't.
season.
I definitely
And the
haven't.
you
I
had
haven't moved past
You had
nothing.
mad closure.
I have not moved past nothing.
Oh, so you got all this Harvard
Hell
pent
no.
up resentment that you haven't let go for 17 years, and now it's coming
No.
out at the kid's
No,
birthday party.
no, I've let it out plenty of times. I have vlogs. I have
Clearly still got
stories.
more. I'm just
Okay, are
saying,
you done?
I'm just saying.
Can I actually get
I
to
thought
the
you had
take or
closure
no?
after Jack Del Rio, but clearly you don't.
Who said I had closure after Jack Del Rio? If anything, that's when
moved on.
everything got worse.
After no, it got worse.
That's
with,
literally when
no,
everything
it got worse
got worse.
with Khalil Mack. It got worse with the Khalil
that's
Mack
true.
trade. But
Yeah.
before that, there was a honeymoon period, and you was all in.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was not.
Okay, our archives.
I was
don't lie.
not.
Our archives don't lie,
Yeah,
but Your Honor,
it was not
Your
a
Honor,
honeymoon.
this nigga lying. Your Honor, this nigga lying.
It's not a honeymoon, first of all. And you already said this isn't fan court, so fuck you. Yeah,
First
we
off,
ain't in no court.
There's a court-appointed attorney in mediation. So, Your Honor, whatever this media person, there's a court-appointed person in mediation. Trust me, I know this. I've gone through it before.
Okay, you're in your own head too much.
No, I'm not.
We're in
I've
reality.
actually gone through mediation.
We're literally just sitting in a radio station. You good, fam?
At this point, are we talking about
Yeah,
sports?
exactly.
I'm just saying.
I need to pull you out of the podcast version.
You haven't answered my question. You have all
You're
this
like
resentment.
within
You
7
have
metaphors.
17 years of resentment.
You're within 7 metaphors
You started
right
with
now.
salt, and now it's just an open wound that you're just severing.
Because you haven't let me fucking talk this whole time. Holy shit.
Okay, cool. I'll stop talking now.
Anyways, the reason why I have a grain of salt is because, like I said, the Raiders suck, period. They overpaid for LaMarcus Joyner. They overpaid for Tyrell Williams. And they overpaid for Trent Brown, which, by the way, makes no sense when you literally just drafted 2 tackles with your top 3 picks. In fact, you even traded down so that you could get a tackle that you wanted at a valuable spot. And, well, guess what? It turns out he's soft. And now you're probably going to have to move one of those dudes to guard when neither of them really even have the leverage to play tackle. So how are they going to play guard? So, yeah.
And you passed on Derwin James and Tremont Edmonds.
Ultimately, I don't see the Raiders' plan because I don't know what you're going to do with LaMarcus Joyner. You're going to put a 5'8 safety next to a 5'10 safety in the NFL and call that a defense? On top of the fact that you got Darrell Worley, who's a corner who can't tackle.
No agility.
Garyon Conley's tackling is questionable as well.
But he's their best corner.
So you're about to get a bunch of small dudes who can't tackle playing safety. Oh, wait. Well, that's fine, except for your linebackers suck too. So, yeah. The Raiders got a lot of shit the Raiders got a lot of shit to work through still. And besides all that, Keyshawn Johnson said it this morning on the radio. Pretty much, he's like, ultimately, the Raiders are just kind of satisfying fans. Like, that's literally what all this is. It's just so that they can say that they're not tanking. They can say that they're trying to win. They can check off all these boxes and give off the appearance that they're trying to win when really they're not. And moreover, what makes it even worse is that they way overpaid for all these guys that they got. And even though they're at the top of these free agency lists and look like good signings, are they good fits in the actual scheme? I mean, I don't know.
Seth Roberts is still on the team. I don't know.
Seth Roberts is still on the team. I mean, and honestly, Antonio Brown, as much as John Gruden wants to be at the press conference and be like, oh, I don't have to change anything in my offense. John Gruden, as we know, you're a liar, period. Because your offense, like, unless you're going to put Antonio Brown in the slot and have him do all the gadget dirty work, you are going to have to change your offense because you like to have big-ass receivers who you can dink and dunk to on 5-yard slants and 8-yard curls. And while you can do that with Antonio Brown, the margin of error is a lot smaller, number one. And number two, he's going to have to break a lot of tackles and make a lot of people miss to turn those into the big plays, which puts him at risk to get hurt and worn down, which when you're paying him $22 million, that's a lot of liability.
Which was my earlier point, by the way.
Ultimately, no, your ultimate point was you just don't want to move on from being a Raiders fan because you're still tied to them, but your heart really isn't in it. That's what you're. That's what your
receivers getting paid and putting their lives on the line.
I'm the exact opposite of you. My heart is still in it, but my mind's not.
Which is worse. Which is way worse. You're enabling.
Ultimately, we're still in purgatory. Both of us are. It's really an awkward time for our football existence.
I'm just saying, I'm honest about where I'm at in the relationship. You clearly are just being emotionally disingenuous. And then trying to intellectually justify it.
That's fair. So what you're saying is I'm really not a Raider fan, but I'm really just pretending to be one.
Yeah, you're an abusive stepfather.
Okay, I can rock with that. I accept that.
Your Honor, I rest my fucking case.
Well, this isn't fan court, so it really doesn't matter.
I know, it's mediation, but still.
Yeah. And if anything, you took a settlement and can never talk about this again.
No, you took it.
No, you took a settlement.
I took it. I was only here for the settlement. You can never speak about it again, though, or else I can sue you.
Whatever. We're like within 7 metaphors. All right.
Yeah, we pissed off a lot. Like, people in our families are going to hear this and know we're kind of subbing them accidentally.
So the last thing I wanted to get to before we get to your pro day update and college football news and wrap up the show. So
just when we were getting started.
So former nose tackle of the Dallas Cowboys, you said it was David Irving?
David Irving.
Yeah. So last week he made a bunch of news in the NFL world for essentially posting a story on his Instagram saying that he's quitting, and he was quitting football because he basically got suspended again for failing another drug test. He pretty much just said it's all bullshit. He's tired of having to go through all these rules for the NFL, and the NFL is so old and archaic that it really doesn't make sense. You don't hear about this sort of thing going on in the MLB and the NBA, and it's really just the NFL. And pretty much said he was doing all this well, essentially smoking a joint, and pretty much said
it was pretty dope shit.
He's pretty much like, yeah, I just got other stuff I want to do outside of football. And now it came out this week. One of those things he wants to do is, well, grow weed, because naturally that's what he would do.
I'm just glad you didn't say like amateur porn. I would have laughed.
And he's going to create his own strand. So let me ask you this. You got a take or a tangent on Irving's basically giving up football to pursue weed?
If I was playing on the Cowboys, would I rather just smoke weed and preserve my body or have to deal with ineptitude and Jerry Jones? Yeah, I'd quit and smoke weed and preserve my body since I'm under the age of 30 and I've made a little bit of money. He's made a little bit of money.
I would go to the AAF.
Nah, I wouldn't even
XFL.
No, like just football and his body in general. Like, why risk it anymore? Why don't you know what? Start a business with what you know.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
And link with athletes.
I'm fine with that. My whole thing is
entrepreneurship.
That's cool.
Like you said, you said it on Twitter. The future of journalism is entrepreneurship. The future of everything is entrepreneurship. So might as well start now.
I get it. And if you listen to the Jim Rome podcast with Ricky Williams, actually you were trash. You literally just picked up like 5 minutes. And it was literally only because you owned me in one stupid ass argument that really wasn't even an argument.
That you started?
You really took out of context and made it worse.
You sung first and lost?
Yeah, something like that.
You swung first and got Kimbo sliced?
Something like that.
Pick your eye up.
Something like that.
Don't step on it. You can still salvage it.
I don't even know where I was going. What was I talking about before? You don't even remember.
No, I was just looking at pro day results. Tennessee is trash.
But yeah, man, I just think my whole thing is that's fine. You want to leave football and do it. Just don't try to come back in 3 years like, oh, I'm on my way to come back to the league. I really miss playing football. I miss my brothers. I miss the locker room. I miss the Dallas Cowboys fans.
But that's low-key
blah,
pothead
blah, blah.
shit. That's pothead logic, like for NFL players. Like,
But-
it's cats who play ball, they smoke weed, then they stop. And then 3 years later, after they got a kid and shit, they're like, I'm going to go ball again.
Here's the thing, though, right? So, like, Ricky Williams, he infamously did this in 2004, I believe.
The only man to ever successfully do it.
He did it in 2004 and was just basically much like you said. I want to preserve my body. I want to take a time off football. I've been playing this game my whole entire life. It's violent. The thing with Ricky Williams is a complex individual.
And a Hall of Fame
He's
running back. There, I said it.
he's always been a complex individual. Even at Texas, he was very introverted, despite kind of being in an extroverted role as a running back, where you're expected to really deliver punishment and do it in a confident, masculine way.
And freakishly fast and athletic.
That was never Ricky Williams' style, despite even though he played and it looked like he was playing that way, that's just not kind of the cat that he was. So he kind of did it, but he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to leave football to go smoke weed. Even though that's kind of what the media pushed out as his narrative. He was more of like, I need to see the world. No, not even that.
He was healing his body through different practices.
Not even that.
They
not
picked on marijuana. They picked on weed.
Yes. So pretty much he was like, I want to go out and see the world. So he traveled the world. He learned about holistic medicines, including cannabis and weed,
Bingo.
which is now what he's doing now. He's actually developing like full-on actual medical grade cannabis and weed. He talked about it on the Jim Rome podcast again. Like I said, he's like, you know, a lot of places say that they're medical, but when you go in there in the shorefront, it's clearly a retail store and it's not a medical experience at all. And I just want to change that. But back to Irving, it's like, if that's really what you want to do, man, like you said, preserve your body. It's your time, it's your money. Who am I to tell you? But be yourself. Like, be authentic. Like, if that's what you really are, then go for it. But don't try to leave the league, and then when you get bored or you start missing stuff, and then all of a sudden you want to come back. Like, do this because you have a long-term vision and you're really passionate about cannabis and you really see an opportunity to not just break through and make money, but to also change the culture and make it better and less taboo, then go for it. I'm all for it. But don't just get so caught up in the short term, like, I'm tired of failing drug tests. I'm tired of all this, having to go through all these programs that are basically BS when half the league is smoking. Like, it is what it is. So if you're going to forego it, then forego it. Don't try to come back. But honestly, everything he said in the video was right, because we don't hear about this shit in the MLB or the NBA. If it does happen,
or NHL,
if it does happen, it's a lot more low key. They don't air out everyone.
They give you treatment.
Like the NFL.
They don't criminalize you
like the NFL does. But the NFL is so dated and stupid.
And we know how black people.
I mean, that's across the leagues.
I'm saying, like, we know how black people get criminalized.
Even the NBA is 75% black.
Yeah, but
and
baseball
they don't do
and
that.
NHL, yeah. But it's mostly,
and Matt Barnes talked about
basketball's basketball's morphing before our eyes.
Basketball is just a completely different sport, though, even at its core, because basketball promotes difference.
But basketball's secondary in the NBA. Let's be honest. Like, when you think about it. When you think of basketball right now, let's say the Lakers, you are not thinking of basketball. You are thinking of all the narrative, everything going around outside of basketball and what's happening in the league with free agents and how cats are linking up.
I mean, you're talking about a football podcast that literally talked about Colin Kaepernick every week. I think you could say the same thing about the NFL.
Yeah, but they're regressing. It's different. With basketball, they're progressing.
Again, back to me, what I was saying is the NBA at the root of the sport is a game that promotes difference. It promotes personality. It promotes being your own person, having your own game. And the NFL is the complete opposite. It's fall in line. It's you're 1 of 53. It's next man up. It's the exact opposite. The NBA promotes, empowers, enables their stars. The NFL kills them.
Suppresses and really just creates a cannibalistic culture. Pardon the pun. But like, the NFL eats its own children.
And that's what makes it both the worst game. That's why some people hate it and some people love it, because it's essentially it's a great reflection of what capitalism really is when you really think about it. Not only is it a game of real estate, but like you said, it's a complete culture of just cannibalism and masculinity and
not masculinity,
misogyny and
more like
nepotism and hypocrisy. And narcissism, all of it.
Because most of that masculinity and like all that disgusting shit is coming from those old white owners.
Yeah, really, it is.
And the hypocrisy is that
there's an old guard there, and
players
that
are
old
criminalized
guard,
for everything they do.
that old guard is so ingrained that
Jim Irsay should be in prison right now. There, I said it.
the old guard is so ingrained that even new guys who try to come in and try to change
They
it,
don't want new tech money.
they
in
just
the
give
NFL.
up.
Do you think they want a tech billionaire in the NFL?
They have them, but
Okay.
like I said, they get
But
silenced because
I'll say young.
the old guard is so strong.
Yeah, that's old money. But I'm saying
You just can't you can't win. So it's like you either risk yourself being ostracized by all 31 teams by trying to be different, or you just keep to yourself and just make your money and make your team, and whatever happens happens. And that's where most of the there is a large NFL owners that are the people we think they are, the racist old white dude, but there's a good amount of people in the middle who aren't that way, but
that's everything,
fall into that way. Exactly.
That's human beings.
Yeah,
human
but
nature.
it's different when they're running billion-dollar organizations. So,
I just want to ask you a question though.
but yeah, hurry up because we gotta wrap up.
Yeah, when it comes to the NFL, do you think a guy like Mark Zuckerberg could buy an NFL team? Do you think they would let him?
At this moment,
He's
no.
young, new money.
At this point, no. Definitely
He owns
not.
Facebook and Instagram.
At this point, no.
You know how much?
But one day, yeah,
but
definitely.
when he's like 50 and 40, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
something
saying.
like
though.
that.
That's what I'm saying. There's a gatekeeper status. Like young people will push the culture further than anybody else. Old people are the ones who actually restrict it.
Whoever owns Twitter would have a better chance of buying the NFL compared to Facebook.
But yeah, I mean, I think
That's a good point.
regardless of where the tech money would come from,
But a young tech guy like him,
it
the
doesn't
guy who owns Snapchat,
it doesn't matter.
He totally
I think at the end of the day, if the money's right, the NFL would consider it. But
Doesn't make
either
you
way,
win.
even if they did come into the league, even if Mark Zuckerberg could get voted in and approved, it wouldn't even matter because he would be one.
he'd be the silent voice.
He'd be one. So
Let's say
it really wouldn't matter. The lobbies in the NFL are so strong and big that it really wouldn't even matter.
Let's say he bought the Oakland Raiders.
you would need like at least 8 Mark Zuckerbergs for there to be any like
difference,
progressive change in the NFL.
and that's what I'm saying.
So that's why at the same time it's like if I am Mark
By the
Zuckerberg,
time he gets there, he's a different person.
but and that's what I'm saying. It's like if I were Mark Zuckerberg, would I even want to put myself in that situation?
Would you rather buy an NBA team or
Would I-
an AAF team?
I mean, really,
XFL.
the thing with those entrepreneurs are different.
Yeah,
Like they're different. Like they didn't get into their business because they wanted to be stupid rich.
they were creators.
They were creators and they fell into it. They fell into a ton of success. Now you have the Steve Ballmers and the Mark Cubans who found those guys who were the creators and the designers and
Stock the
sold them
roster.
and branched them out and helped them scale and grow. Those are the people who will buy the teams because they see a chance for status, success, a bunch of other shit that they value. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. I think the real test is Gary Vee, right? Because Gary Vee's been trying to buy a team for a really long time.
Dog, I'm sick of Gary Vee.
But Gary Vee has been talking about buying a team for about 10 years now. So
How rich is Gary Vee?
So
How much money
is he gonna?
worth? What's his net worth? Is he an industry plant? Because
Nah,
honestly,
he's worth money.
no, I know he's loaded, but I'm
He's
saying,
loaded.
like, other than being like what kind of inspirational speaker who just says shit that's really normal and like obvious.
He owns a media conglomerate. I think they own like 6 different agencies,
That
and he
helps,
owns
too.
a bunch of real estate
That helps
before
too.
that.
Yeah, but I'm saying you only
And
know,
he's in the First Name Club.
and you know him as the inspirational guy that everyone, like a lot of
But
people get
he's
pumped up with.
but he's like the first inspirational guy.
he was
Like
the first.
purely from the internet, he's like one of the. That's why he's in the First Name Club.
Oh well, yeah. If you're going based off that, I'm talking about like I was thinking 20 years back, like it's Tony Robbins and shit like this.
But I'm
There's
talking
been
about from
inspirational
the
people.
internet.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy. At least on the East Coast, for sure.
Yeah, but that's just my thing. Like, he would be a part of a group that bought an NFL team. He's not going to be the.
I mean, they're all part of a group, right?
Yeah,
They're all part of a group. Everyone has minority owners. Everybody has people who have a little piece. I mean, nobody's really.
Yeah, I think
known
Serena
about
Williams
themselves.
owned a piece of the Dolphins and Venus.
I think J-Lo did too.
Usher owned a piece of the Cleveland Browns, if I'm not mistaken. I know he owned a piece of the Cavaliers. But yeah, you want to get to this pro day stuff?
Yeah, make it quick.
Okay, Oklahoma's pro day came up. I'll just give you some athletic standouts.
Kyler Murray's not 5'9".
He's 5'10" and an eighth.
I took your take on that one.
He's 5'10" and an eighth. And he didn't run the 40 because A, you already know he's fast and athletic, and B, he's 5'10" because he measured it at the combine, and he threw great. He has a great arm talent, and he has the arms of a dude who is like a short guy. He's not a long-armed short dude, and that's what these NFL teams want because he's short.
Can I ask you a serious question? Off-topic question?
Go for
Sorry.
it. Go for
Do
it.
people actually like barbecue chips? Or is it just tolerated by the lowest common denominator?
Do you like Fritos better than curly barbecue Fritos?
Can you ever just answer a question?
I'm answering your question with a better question.
No, you're not. Because you're deflecting from the original
I think
question.
barbecue works in certain barbecue chips.
So
are
what you're
trash.
saying is no.
I'm saying
What you're saying is everyone just kind of tolerates them.
Is this like the Mr. Goodbar debate?
Yeah.
Like Mr. Goodbar?
Yeah, like who made Lay's the official chip of just mediocre cookouts and barbecues?
Like who said salt and vinegar could be a flavor?
Again,
same people with
a
peanut
totally
allergies?
different question. A totally different
No,
question.
it's
No,
it's
it's
in the
not.
same
No,
family.
that's a totally different question.
It's like
Again, you're ducking the question.
who grandfathered in barbecue as
I
a
think
flavor?
you
Is that
don't
what
want to
you're
admit
asking?
that you don't really like barbecue chips. I think you're just coming to the realization and you're
They're
not
not
happy
really-
about it
it's
because
like-
of the amount of barbecue chips you've
They're a
consumed in
second,
your life.
no, they're a secondary. I look at them like I look at secondary colors, except orange. Orange is my favorite color, and it's very unique because there's nothing that rhymes with orange. But anyway, bottom line is with barbecue flavoring, it's not like, oh, that's a natural chip. It's not a natural chip. It's just like it's a secondary or third option. I don't pretend it to be anything more than it is. But I will say, in the right circumstances, barbecue flavored chips hit. Like barbecue Fritos, the twisted Fritos.
Those are the best barbecue chips.
Thank you. That's the standard. It's like a remix, but like not everybody wants to hear the One Blood remix. Or like all those Lil Wayne remixes from back in the day.
All right,
A
get
lot of
back
them
to
are
your
cool.
pro days though. Yeah, you just
I answered your question directly.
yeah, you're losing steam, but
I
you're
answered-
good.
did I answer
You
your
should have just
question?
stopped at answering the question.
I answered your question.
All right, go back to the pro day stuff.
So yeah, when it comes down to Oklahoma, dog, what are you doing? You fucking
This
dog.
podcast is sponsored by Lay's.
No, they're not. Lay's barbecue chips are trash, and it's honey barbecue. Stop. You're really pissing me off. I'm gonna fucking stab you in the neck and watch you bleed out.
Oh, but you can eat hood Chinese and ice cream every week.
I don't.
All
eat
right,
that.
my bad. Go
I
ahead.
only eat hood Chinese.
My
when
bad.
I'm
We're
with
over
you.
time. I'm over here bullshitting. My bad.
I'm only eating hood Chinese.
My
when I'm
bad.
with
Go
you.
ahead.
You're a bad influence.
We're bullshitting. We're over time. Hurry
But
up.
anyway, so yeah, Oklahoma at the pro day. Kyler really good. One dude who stood out at the pro day, Curtis Bolton, linebacker, ran a 4.53, 38-inch vert. He might get a look. Oklahoma linebackers, for whatever reason, just find ways to get in the NFL, even though their defense is putrid every year. You also have Cody Ford, who is considered a first-round draft pick. He had 20 bench press reps. Let's see. Wisconsin's pro day. Ben Brouchen, I can't even say his last name. He had a 26.5-inch vert. It doesn't really matter because he's 6'6", 315, and he's probably going to go no lower than like the third round. You also have T.J. Edwards, who is considered a viable prospect. He ran a 4.77, typical of Wisconsin linebackers. Dakota Dixon, who ran a 4.8 safety for Wisconsin, ran a 4.62 at his pro day, which is honestly more believable. Andrew Van Ginkel, 6'4", 236, surprisingly ran a 4.56 at Wisconsin's pro day. Actually shocking for a Wisconsin linebacker. Marshall's pro day, Kyrie Brady. Are you ready for this? You're gonna throw up when you hear it. Or Tyree Brady. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, Tyree Brady could be really good." 6'3", 206. You want to guess what his 40 time was?
4.59.
4.74. And he had a 29.5-inch vertical. Yikes! You're not getting drafted, dog. Sorry. I could name a bunch of other cats on their team who ran, but I'm not because they're just not impressive. They had a receiver.
Yeah, you can really skip all these other trash ass pro
Yeah.
days.
No, because I'm only like naming the best players from the said pro days. There's also Oklahoma.
What about the
State's
dude from New Mexico who ran a 4.3?
4.32. By the way, Oklahoma State's pro day. They had a guy, wide receiver. I think it's Tyree Johnson. Let me get it. Make sure I get his name right.
D'Angelo Ross.
Tyrone-
Shout out to New Mexico running a
Shout out-
4.32.
Yeah, shout out to New Mexico. Taylor Cornelius, the quarterback for Oklahoma State, 6'6", 225, ran a 4.7, 38-inch vert. He might get a look. He might get a training camp look. But Tyrone Johnson, receiver for Oklahoma State. Now, you might want to write his name down. He actually did some things at Oklahoma State. 6'1", 193, ran a 4.3, 4.40. 16 bench press reps, but he had a
pretty
30-inch
good.
vert. Now, here's a big one. Vanderbilt's pro day. Jojon Williams. Cornerback, 6'3", 211, ran like a 4.6 or whatever at the combine. Ran a 4.55 at his pro day. Had a 6.84 cone drill and a 36-inch vert. Troy had a receiver, Blaze Brown, who ran a terrible 40 time. I think he ran like a 4.89 or some crazy shit, but he ran a 4.65 at Troy's pro day. He'll probably end up being a safety if he converts. And yeah, New Mexico, D'Angelo Ross, 4.3, 240, 39-inch vertical.
What did my boy Ubosi from UAB run?
He ran a 4.52.
Oof. It's not good
You
for a
want me to break?
speed
You want
receiver.
me to keep breaking your heart? Because
Go for it.
there's a couple more. I hate these stupid ass pop-ups, bro. Like, they're annoying. I don't even want the pop-ups. Fucking WalterFootball.com. Like, get your shit straight. Anyway, there's more pro days to come. But pretty much, a lot of the cats.
I
who
think
really
that's
need-
good right now.
A lot of the cats who needed to run faster, they
Didn't.
did. Except for the ones who didn't. They slow.
But yeah, man. So pretty much a pro day is just your chance. It's your school's version of a mini NFL combine where they pretty much put you through workouts and drills and speed assessments, but on your home field with your teammates and people from the area at other different
Everyone
lower level
cheering you
schools.
on.
Everyone cheering you on, trying to see you succeed. So it's definitely a different atmosphere than the combine where you're
Oh,
kind
my
of
bad. He ran a 4.5
skeptical.
flat. Your boy, Bosi. Ran a
shout out to
4.5
Reseda
flat.
and Pierce.
14 bench press reps, 33.5-inch vert, 10,
Yeah, that's not that
Foot,
good for him.
5
He needed
inch.
He needed better numbers than that
6'2", 215.
for being a speed receiver.
He's not a speed receiver.
But that's what
He's
that's
a
what
glider.
that's what his game is.
His acceleration, yeah.
Yeah, that's what his game is. But all right, man. So let's get to the rants real quick.
I think you should want. I think you want to go first. You got.
I really don't have a lot of shit. I got everything off my chest last week.
Really? All right. Well, guess I'll go. All right. So this was a very emotional week for me. Aside from the fact that I'm dead ass tired, I work technically 3 jobs because touchdowns and tangents is a job. I treat it as such. Even though, yeah, we don't get paid for this. So if you're listening and you do taxes, hit me up and know. But definitely, there's some stuff that I
You can
probably
PayPal touchdowns and tangents at gmail.com if you like this podcast.
Yes, and if you want to support it. But yeah, mostly for tax purposes. No, we are
Or
not.
buy us food.
Yeah. And also, or a website. Give us some funding for what? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, you're like, no.
It's not really.
give us money to help us finish our website. But no, in all seriousness, Grad Fest at CSUN was this week. It's been a long time coming for me because I took like almost 3 years off of school for a lot of reasons. Reasons I will get into once I actually graduate and get my diploma. And then I'll tell everybody the whole horrible story. The horribly beautiful story of how it took me forever to graduate from CSUN. And as Pete said, it ruined all our lives. But it also was like a really good experience. Like, I would suggest everyone do it at least once. Just go to CSUN, have your life ruined, and then come back. You'll find out who you really are. But yeah, I took my mom with me to Grad Fest, and it meant a lot because like my mom was a promising All-American track star coming out of high school, and she gave up her dream to work 3 jobs and help her parents save their house. And because a lot of people don't know, as athletes, once you start your clock, your academic clock, that's how much time you have to, for your college eligibility. And she kind of got robbed of a track career. And when she could have gone back, she had her first kid. And then she had me when she got an offer to run at the Olympic trials. So she gave that up, sacrificed everything, all her dreams for her children. And it was, honestly, I kind of smiled, and I kind of fight back tears a little bit when I put on the whole cap and gown and everything and the sash, which, by the way, my mom keeps calling it a fucking satchel. Mom, it's a sash. It's not a satchel. It's not a satchel.
That's so funny, bro.
And like,
That's fucking hilarious.
and like, she won't stop calling it a satchel. Mom, I love you, but it's not a satchel. Like, it's a sash. The same way, like, Pete is not my industry plug. He's broke too. But yeah, man, like, to all the shit I've been through, everything I've gone through, to, like, honestly, this whole graduation shit, like, it means a lot to me. And I actually got a bunch of photography work done this week, so I'm happy with that. And I'm actually getting better at shooting. I was always scared to pick up a camera for a while, and now that I'm actually doing it and taking pictures, I kind of have a natural eye for it, and I'm pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I still got like work to do, so don't try to like book me to shoot your event and expect 5-star shit. I'm gonna get you good shots though, but like just work on me, because still expanding my abilities. But to see like my mom there, she broke down crying as soon as she saw me like put everything on. And, like, she knows what I've been through because she was there, like, when I was at rock bottom. My little sister, too. Shout out to Chelsea. Your big head ass. But anyway. Yeah, man. I've had a lot of time to process a lot. And when you have a chance to actually look back at your life, the things you've done, the things you've gone through, like, and you can have, like, a healthy perspective on it, good and bad, I think that's really beneficial. And shout out to everybody who's been showing me love on social media, Instagram, and all that. I appreciate y'all. I fuck with y'all heavy. Some of y'all I don't fuck with. I don't know why you even like my post, because you're one of the reasons I fucking left CSUN and kind of ruined my life. But it's all good. But other than that, oh yeah.
Good note there, dog.
No. I just want to say 2 more things. Everybody acting like they broke that Le'Veon Bell story. Technically, Le'Veon Bell broke that story when he put out his trash-ass mixtape and said he's a Jet, not a Raven. Like, athletes are the ones who break the news. Can we be honest? Like, athletes are the ones who they are the news, and if they wanted to break the news, they could. Kind of like, how the whole Players Tribune did the My Decision shit with Kevin Durant. But whatever. We'll get to athletes and media control and their power in the media later. But I just wanted to say, man, I'm really happy and excited because now I'm on spring break, but I got a lot of work to do. And to know that I'm like 6 weeks from graduation, May 19th, 6 p.m., I only got 6 tickets, so sorry, don't try to hit me up. But the tickets are kind of already decided. Pete gets a ticket if his bitch ass actually doesn't flake on me that day. If he doesn't get drunk on mimosas and says I can't make it. Because if you don't show up to graduation, my mom's going to kill you. If you don't show up to graduation,
hold on, I'm trying to think of a scheduling conflict off the top of my head.
A conflict of interest? A conflict of scheduling?
What day is it?
Sunday, May 19th, 6 p.m. OVI lawn. So even if you don't get a ticket,
I'll
just
find something to do.
pull up anyway. Show up drunk. I don't care. I'm probably gonna cry that day. Like you're gonna see a grown man cry, and me, and I haven't cried in like 5 years. So, yeah. And if any of you take pictures of me crying, I will fucking murder you. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, I just want to say, yeah, man. No matter what your dream is, let me finish, Pete. Be quiet. No matter what your dream is, if you got a goal that when you go to sleep at night, it's all you can think about, and when you wake up, and when you at your fucking job that you hate, 9 to 5, whatever bullshit it is, whatever you got to do to get through the day, those late shifts and those days where you don't get any sleep, if that's really what your passion is, you need to pursue it. Because it's better to die knowing that you tried your best, gave it your all, and when you had your shot, you took it, whether it worked out all the way or it didn't, than to live your whole life and just never actually take any chances. That shit's gross.
Hurry your cornball ass up.
See, Pete, this is why we can't have nice things. That's why I can't have a nice outro. Nah, but it's true. Because if
try your hardest. You know how I feel about that. All right, man. Can I go now?
Carry your ass, Pete.
Can I go now? All right, man. So as much as Kenny, box me for being his industry tie, he knows I'm really his industry tie. But not like for real. Like honestly,
you can't move out here without me.
Like honestly though, like for me today, I did a career fair at CSUN. Also, my alma mater, soon to be Kenny's alma mater. Hopefully, if he gets those summer school classes. But let's knock on wood. The point is, man, so I did resume review today, and I hate resume review because I'm still trying to figure out my own resume. But the feedback I like to give people, especially younger cats, is like, just own yourself. Like, your resume is a story. It should reflect who you are. It should give off the vibe and the tone and the persona that you are. And like, just because you're a sophomore doesn't mean you don't have things to add to the table. Like, just because you're young or you don't have an internship or you don't have experience, like, don't downplay yourself. Like, that is something that's ingrained in us, that we need to have a sort of status to bring something to the table. And like, it's really not the case, especially when you're talking about media and journalism and creating, because really anybody can do it. It's just a matter of who can do it better. But honestly, I mean, everyone has something to add to the table. It's just finding what that is and being able to market it. That's the hard part. Which brings me full circle back to the industry tie, because it really is humbling. Like, when I go to these networking events and I have, reporters or, VPs of communications at certain sports organizations and people like walking up to me, who know about me, who've heard about me, who know my name, who like are excited to meet me or talk to me or step aside and want to talk to me. And it's like, even though like I don't know precisely what I want to do or how I'm going to use these industry connects, just the fact that I'm starting to get some respect finally, and like, I'm starting to get retweets back from certain industry ties, people who weren't even answering my tweets before. But yeah, we're not going to talk about last week's whole Twitter fiasco I had. You can check it out. But yeah, the point is, man, I want to be the gateway and the bridge to the industry, and I don't want it to be an industry, because it's not. It should be an open source. It should be an open platform. It should be something that everyone can bring to the table. And that's kind of what this podcast is like. And moreover, man, last thing I want to talk about is just because I have been doing these networking events for CSUN and been a part of the Alumni Association, and now I'm going on my second or third event. It's like I'm seeing some of these kids who are coming up to me and who are like really excited to see me. And it's like really humbling, because they're like, you gave me this advice at the last event last semester, and like it really helped me out. Like I started my own blog. I'm writing for this website, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's just humbling because it brings me full circle. It's like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to build up the next generation. Like, I want journalists to own their own stuff. I want them to own their own content. I want them to feel like they can deserve more than ramen noodles or whatever salary they can get out of a newspaper. Like, to me, that makes me excited. And even when I'm sitting across from someone who's only been in school a year or two and they're like downplaying themselves and they don't really know what they want to do, and just when someone who's not that much older than them actually gives them some positive reinforcement and talks about what they can do instead of what they're not, just seeing their kind of attitude and persona and confidence really change, like, I really just appreciate that. So that's all I wanted to say. So yeah, I am the industry Ty, and Kenny is the street Ty because he tells me what streets not to go down on the South Bay. So yeah, that's it, man. Touchdowns and Tangents. You know what it is. Thursday nights, Good News Radio Station, X Squad affiliates, FPC Radio, every major podcast distributor, network, app, etc. We're there. And if you can do one thing to support this podcast, if you like this podcast, if you hate this podcast, if you can do one thing, please go and rate it. Give it 4 stars, 5 stars, 3 stars, whatever app you're listening to, just rate it because it really does help us get discovered by other podcasters, and it also gives us feedback on how we can either improve or double down on what we're already doing. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be doing a lot of great stuff. So, before I close it out, anything else you want to say, KV?
Nah, man. Just stay safe on spring break and don't get black syphilis if you're going overseas. That shit's uncurable.
Wow.
And your genitalia will fall off and you'll die a painful death. So don't get black syphilis because they don't let you back in America if you have that.
Wow.
They don't. I'm dead ass serious.
Why does black syphilis got to be worse than regular syphilis?
You're stupid. I'm not even going to answer that with the response.